بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. This is Mr. Nabil Adam from Al-Markiya Secondary School. Today I'm going to present a recorded lesson for grade 10. This is a recorded lesson for Unit 11, Lesson 6 on workbook. Please open your workbook, page number 84 and 85. Here we are going to revise what you have studied in lesson 4 and 5. We studied the causative and the passive voice. We studied the different meaning of take and make. We are going to answer these exercises on workbook page number 84, 85. And we are going to play some games concerning the passive and active voice. So please follow this video and watch it carefully to answer these exercises on workbook. This is number 6, synchronous period. Past simple passive. Look at these pictures here and these examples. The telephone invented by Alexander Graham Bell. The telephone was invented. Dynamite invented by Alfred Nobel. Dynamite was invented by Alfred Nobel. Airplanes invented by the Wright brothers. The airplanes were invented. The light bulb was invented by Thomas Edison. So when we change the past simple tense from active into passive, we start with the object, and then we use was or were plus past participle. You can mention the subject at the end of the verb preceded with the preposition by. So again, past simple, we use was or were plus past participle. Was examined or were examined. Was invited, were invited. Was cleaned, were cleaned, or was given, were given. So we start with the object, not the subject, and then verb to be plus past participle. Use the past simple passive to talk about past processes and facts. نستخدم الباسيف في الباست simple لما نتكلم على العمليات اللي هي تجارب أو الحقائق. When you talk about things that happen in the past, use it when the focus is on the action, not on who does it. يبقى التركيز على حدوث الفعل نفسه وليس على الفاعل. The first telephones were used in 1876. We have here a definite time in 1876, were used because the subject or the object here is plural, telephones. We normally make passive forms of a verb by using tenses of the auxiliary verb. For the past simple, passive was or were is used. You need to know the past participles for the past passive too. يبقى لازم نعرف تصريفات الأفعال. التصريف الثالث لكل فعل ممكن يكون فعل عادي أو فعل شاذ. I wasn't invited, but I went anyway. Example, the Chinese introduced the postal service in about 1200 BCE. Here the Chinese is the subject and the postal service is the object. If you start with a postal service, we use was or were plus past participle. So the right answer, a postal service was introduced by the Chinese in about 1200 BCE. You should use the time phrase at the end of the sentence. You can use by the subject. Now let's do these exercises here. Please look at the screen and read the sentence here. Change these sentences from active into passive. Change focus or make passive, change into passive. Our neighbor gave me a lift. Gave, past simple. His father punished him for what he did. Punished, past simple. The children gave Fatma a lovely birthday card. Gave, past simple. The restaurant prepared the meal for 5 persons. Prepared, past simple. The mechanic repaired the car. Repaired, here again, past simple verb. So we start with the object and we use was or were, was if it is singular, were if it's a plural, and we change the verb from the past into the past participle, verb 3. Our neighbor gave me a lift. You can start with I or you can start with a lift. Yes, let's do it. I was given a lift by our neighbor. I was given a lift by our neighbor. We can say a lift was given to me. A lift was given to me by our neighbor. His father punished him for what he did. Begin with him. No, we say he, because we change the object pronoun into subject pronoun he. He was punished for what he did by his father. Yes, he was punished for what he did by his father. The children gave Fatma a lovely birthday card. You can start with Fatma or you can start with a lovely birthday card. Fatma was given a lovely birthday card, or a lovely birthday card was given to Fatma by the children. The restaurant prepared the meal for 5 persons. Begin with the meal. The meal was prepared for 5 persons. The mechanic repaired the car. Begin with the car. The car was repaired by the mechanic. Now, you've got here this exercise on workbook. Please open your workbook, page number 84. Rewrite the sentences about early postal services. Start with the words given and change the underlined verbs into the passive form. الجمل دي بتتكلم على أول خدمات بريدية في الصين. الصين كانت أول دولة تعمل خدمة إرسال الرسائل. مطلوب منك تحول الجمل دي من active إلى passive. من active لباسف. هو عطالك ايه، بدأ لك بالمفعول به في اول الجمله وغير ما يلزم، غير الفعل اللي تحته خط، طبعا نستخدم was او were، was او were لان الجمل دي كلها حصل في الماضي البسيط. Example: The Chinese introduced a postal service in about 1200 BCE. Where is the subject? The Chinese. Where is the object? A postal service. A postal service was introduced by the Chinese in about 1200 BCE. A. At first, the Chinese used this service mainly for official documents. Begin with, at first, this service. Yes, this service was used by the Chinese mainly for official documents. Originally, they sent messages using fire and smoke. Originally, messages were sent using fire and smoke. The Romans organized an advanced postal system. Begin with, an advanced postal system was organized by the Romans. They developed a system of post roads with many places where tired riders passed messages to other fresh riders. Note here, you've got two sentences here. They are joined together. They developed a system of post roads. Begin with, a system of post roads. Where or was, a system singular. A system of post roads was developed. A system of post roads was developed with many places where tired riders passed messages to other fresh riders. Begin with, messages. Where messages were passed to other fresh riders by tired riders. So the right answer, a system of post roads was developed because a system was singular with many places where messages were passed by tired riders to other fresh riders. So note here, do you have two verbs or one verb, and you are going to change both of them or one of them into passive. The Romans sent messages 270 kilometers in 24 hours by this system. Begin with messages. Messages were sent by the Romans 270 kilometers in 24 hours by this system. Britain introduced the first postage stamps in 1840. Begin with the first postage stamps, plural. So we use were introduced in 1840 in Britain. In Britain in 1840. It's better to use the place before the time. The Greeks used homing pigeons to deliver messages. You begin with homing pigeons. Homing pigeons were used to deliver messages. Or homing pigeons were used by the Greeks so that messages could be delivered. So here we are going to change the two verbs. So we change to into so that. Homing pigeons were used by the Greeks so that messages could be delivered, because you've got two underlined verbs. Now, exercise 2. Rewrite the sentences about modern communication. Start with the words given and change the underlined verbs into the active form. العكس صحيح دلوقتي. هنا بيقول لك عيد كتابة الجمل التالية عن وسائل الاتصالات الحديثة، وبيقول لك ابدأ بالكلمات المعطاة لك وغير الأفعال اللي تحتها خط من passive إلى active. من passive إلى active. لو عندك هنا verb to be لازم أحذف verb to be حسب زمن الفعل وأجيب الفعل الأساسي الزمن المناسب. Number 1, or let's see the example here. In the 21st century, mobile phones are used for phone calls and text messages. So here mobile phones are used. الموبايلات تستخدم. Who use them? People. So we start in the 21st century, people. Here are used here. This is passive in the present simple. Are used. So we delete verb to be are and we use used in the present simple. So the right answer, in the 21st century, people use mobile phones for phone calls and text messages. Look at the exercise A. Phone calls are made to friends wherever they are. المكالمات التلفونية تسجل أو تجرى للأصدقاء حيثما كانوا أو أينما كانوا. Begin with people. People here is the subject. We delete are and we use made in the present simple. So the right answer, people make. What do they make? People make phone calls. Phone calls is the object. People make phone calls to friends wherever they are. Text messages are sent over very long distances very cheaply. الرسائل النصية بترسل لمسافات طويلة بشكل رخيص. People are sent. No, we delete are. And we use sent in the present, send. People send. What do they send? People send text messages over very long distances very cheaply. These messages are written very quickly and are received by their friends a few seconds later. We have here two verbs, are written and are received. People what? People write. What do people write? People write these messages very quickly, and friends or their friends receive them a few seconds later. So we have to add them here because them refers to these messages. People write these messages very quickly and their friends receive them a few seconds later. Email is being used by more and more businesses. Begin with more and more businesses is a subject here. More and more businesses is or are? Are. Is being هتحذف وأضيف ال ing للفعل الأساسي. So more businesses are using email. In some organizations, traditional letters or memos have been replaced by email. In some organizations, we can say email, email, have or has, email, singular, email has, and then we delete been, email has replaced. What has replaced? Email has replaced traditional letters and memos. So email has replaced traditional letters or memos. Now, complete the sentence with the correct form of make or take. هنا مطلوب منك تكمل الجمل باستخدام الفعل make أو take في زمن مناسب. احنا قلنا في الحصة السابقة يا شباب قلنا ان make و take have different meanings. Make and take have different meanings according to the text حسب النص. لازم تعرف ان كلمة make معناها ايه أو take معناها ايه. طبعا شرح في lesson unit 10 unit 11 lesson 5. Complete the sentence with the correct form of make or take. يبقى تكمل make أو take مع تصحيح الزمن أو تصحيح الفعل. If you are going to the post office, could you take this letter for me? Take. Nobody pigeons fly home. It's a natural instinct. Nobody make pigeons fly home. It's a natural instinct. Make means force. What's the tense here? We change makes. Nobody is singular. We use verb plus s. They special food for homing pigeons. They make or take. They make special food for homing pigeons. Yes. They, plural, so we use the verb without s. Oh no, someone has our best pigeon. Someone has take. Take. After has, we use the past participle. Take, took, taken. If you've missed your bus, you could a taxi instead. You could take a taxi. Could plus infinitive. We don't change the verb here. Take a taxi. You could travel by taxi. You look exhausted. Why don't you a 5-minute break? Why don't you take a 5-minute break? Because don't use infinitive after it. I was too busy lunch to note the phone ringing. I was too busy making lunch. Lay making after busy, we use verb plus ing. He was district manager after his excellent performance. He was made. Passive here, was or were plus past participle. Now you've got here some expressions. You are going to match these expressions to their responses. These expressions, you can use them when you send a message or when you make a phone call. دي محادثات عاوزين نوصل السؤال بالجواب. Here there are more responses than you need. في إجابات أكتر، يعني في عندك 7 أو في 5، يبقى أنا في 2 زيادة. Hi, is Aisha there please؟ ده سؤال وواحد بيرد على التليفون. Hi, is Aisha there please؟ الرد بقى واحدة من from 1 to 7. Sorry, isn't this 4744421? Okay, speak to you soon. We don't have voicemail. Did you leave a message? No, she's not. Sorry. He can't come to the phone right now. Sure, I'll just get a pen. Hi, is Aisha there, please? No, she's not. Sorry. Could you take a message for me? Sure, I'll just get a pen. I'll call you back in 5 minutes. Okay, speak to you soon. I think you have the wrong number. Sorry, isn't this 4744421? I called earlier, but no one answered. Did you leave a message? يبقى ده سؤال وده إجابة. محادثة بين شخصين. Now, read the following text messages and match them with their meanings. رسائل نصية يا شباب text messages are usually short، دايما بتبقى مختصرة. تقرأ الرسالة النصية وتحاول توصلها بالمعنى بتاعها اللي على اليمين. You've got here A to F from and then match them with 1 to 6. All right, mate, do you want to meet later? Sorry, had to leave. BRB ASAP. ASAP. On my way back from malls now. QU and Q8. Did knee 1. See my coat after football. Got to go. About to eat. CNT talk now. Speak soon. دي رسائل مختصرة ورموز حاول تعرف معناها من خلال التعريف بتاعها الناحية التانية توصل بالمعنى الصحيح بتاعها. I am busy. I can't talk at the moment. I'll call you when I am less busy. Hello, would you like to meet up later? I think I left my coat at football practice. Has anyone seen it? I have to leave. It's dinner time. I'm sorry, I had to leave suddenly. I'll be back as soon as possible. I am on my way back from holiday. I'll see you when I get to Kuwait. So you are going to write the numbers from 1 to 6. A. 2. Hello, would you like to meet up later? B. 5. I'm sorry, I had to leave suddenly. I'll be back as soon as possible. As soon as possible, ASAP. C. Number 6, I am on my way back from holiday. I'll see you when I get to Kuwait. How to shorten Kuwait? Q8. And holiday, hols. D. Number 3, I think I left my coat at football practice. Has anyone seen it? E. Number 4, I have to leave. It's dinner time. Got to go. Got to go. About to eat. Got to go. F. Number 1, I'm busy. I can't talk at the moment. I'll call you when I'm less busy. Speak soon. Can't talk now. Okay. Exercise number 6 here. These are language functions. Or what would you say in the following situations? Right, falseness. دي مواقف بيقول لك ماذا تقول في مواقف تالية؟ اكتب جمل تامة. طبعا تختلف إجابة عمر عن محمد عن كذا. اقرأ الموقف واختار الرد المناسب المهذب اللي يكون في تخيل نفسك انت في الموقف ده هتقول ايه. One of your friends has just called you to cancel a pre-arranged study meeting. You and your other friends are already there. يعني واحد من أصدقائك اتصل منذ قليل عشان يلغي اجتماع أو درس محدد مسبقا وانت بالفعل واصدقائك وصلتوا هناك. نفترض انت بتاخد درس خصوصي مع حد من اصحابك وزميلك اللي بتاخد درس عنده بيتصل عليك او بعت لك رساله ويقول لك الحصه اتلغت وانت بتقول له ايه انا واقف قدام البيت. What would you say to your brother or to your friend? You should have told us before. You should have told us before. كان المفروض تبلغنا قبل كده. Before we arrived. You should have told us before. Your network provider has charged you for calls you didn't make. You are phoning their helpline. شركة اتصالات تليفون بتحاسبك على مكالمات انت ما عملتهاش. وانت دلوقتي بتتصل على خدمة العملاء وعاوز تسألهم على الفلوس اللي نزلت عليك في الفاتورة حساب فلوس زيادة. What would you say? That is unfair. You should have checked well before charging my calls. هذا ظلم. المفروض تراجعوا حساباتكم قبل ما تدفعوا تحسبوا علي هذه المكالمات. That's unfair. You should have checked well before charging my calls. A new phone you bought last week has stopped working. موبايل جديد شريته من الأسبوع الماضي توقف عن العمل. You are talking to a salesman in the shop you bought it from. أنت بتتكلم مندوب المبيعات أو البائع اللي في المحل اللي اشترك منه هذا الموبايل الجديد. What would you say? Excuse me, my mobile phone has stopped working. Can you change it, please? Your parents have decided you are using your mobile phone too much. والديك قرروا أو لاحظوا إن أنت بتستخدم موبايلك بشكل كبير جدا. They have decided to confiscate it from you for a few weeks. قرروا إن يسحبوا الموبايل منك لأسابيع قليلة. You think this is unfair. تعتقد إن هذا هذا غير عادل. What would you say to your parents, your father and mother? Please, dad and mom, that's a great punishment. Just think about how I can study online without my mobile phone. Okay, I have finished now. I have finished now answering all the exercises on workbook page number 84, 85. Now we are going to play some games. We are going to answer some quizzes, how to change into passive, how to change into active, how to decide if the sentences are active or passive, and how to make correct sentences, rearrange sentences. Let's do this exercise. Okay, let's start with grammar. Choose the correct answer. Okay, let's see who can do it. From A, B, C, and D, choose the correct answers that best completes each of the following sentences. Do not worry about the cows and the horses. They will sure before noon. They will sure feed, feeding, fed, be fed. This is passive, but in the future, will plus be plus past participle. So the right answer, be fed. Yes, correct. I did not want to decorate my office, but as a surprise, it by my co-workers during the weekend. Here, the sentence is in the past, and the office, this passive, was decorated or were decorated. It was decorated. In fact, he could not do the work, the tasks by two of the friends yesterday. Yesterday here refers to the past simple. The task is plural, so we use were done. We cannot say is being done because it's yesterday and the tasks are plural. So in fact, he could not do the work. The tasks were done. These two AC units installed today in the evening, just a few hours from now. Here, the AC units, this passive here. In the future, they are going to install the AC units. So the AC units will be installed. Okay, let's do the next exercise. Do you know that homing pigeons for smuggling diamonds in South Africa in the past? In the past here, past symbol, pigeons, حمام الزاجل, these passive homing pigeons were used or was used. Pigeons plural, so we use were used. He did not know that his dogs to hunt long ago before he bought them. Before here, it's a conjunction used for two actions happened in the past, one before the other. The first action should be past perfect, had plus PP. As his dogs had been trained. The first postage stamps by Britain in the year 1840. So postage stamps plural, And this is a definite time in the past to use a past symbol in the past. Was or were, was introduced or were introduced. You have to choose was or were because stamps are plural. Okay, now let's move to the next one. It's a game. Pay attention to the time because you have to answer the question quickly and correctly. هنا ده باسيف فويس اختبار كومبتيتيف كويز سلسله من اسئله متعدده الخيارات انقر على الاجابه الصحيحه للمتابعه. Look at the pictures here. Robots are in many modern factories now. هنا عندك كلمه now يبقى في الجمله باسيف are يبقى are used. Some people say robots that can do housework be manufactured soon. Soon refers to the future, will be. Our teacher asks a worksheet to do before the test. Our teacher is a subject. So this is not passive, this is active. Gave. When the new students arrived, they shown where to put their coats. They, here, we notice here when conjunction, we use it in the past symbol. So we use they were shown. I hope that football coach me for the team. Hope, we use the future. Will choose. Will be chosen? No, this is passive. The football coach, المدرب هيختارني أنا. The football coach will choose me. This is active, not passive. Darius didn't think he given the homework topic by the teacher. This is passive. Darius didn't think he had been given. Past perfect, passive. Some robots will be by solar panels. Passive here will be past participle, powered. Jane hates listened to while she practices the violin. Hates is the verb and it should be followed with ing. Jane hates being listened. Passive here. Hates being listened. Cameron won't be for what he did. Cameron is the name of a boy. Cameron won't be forgiven. Past participle. Forgive, forgave, forgiven. Try to the instructions carefully. Try to, this is active, not passive. Try to follow the instructions. Okay, good. We finished this exercise. Let's move to the next exercise. Number 2. اسحب الكلمات واسقطها لإعادة ترتيب كل جملة في ترتيبها صحيح. طبعا أنا مطلوب منك ترتب الكلمات الموجودة قدامك بأسرع طريقة وبأقل خطوات. كل ما تعمل خطوات أقل تاخد نقاط أكتر. عندك مجموعة كلمات، فكر في الترتيب الصح قبل ما إيه وخد بالك من الوقت. Room cleaned. This is day every. This room is cleaned every day. Are and tablets produced in phones China sell. Cell phones and tablets are produced in China. By built this house was grandfather. This house was built by my grandfather. sent will all the tomorrow be letters. All the letters will be sent tomorrow. The eating sandwich dog my was by. My sandwich was eaten by the dog. In what that is shop sold. What is sold in that shop? What is that? What is sold? What is sold in that shop? I did many mistakes here. Yes. What is sold in that shop? Flown planes by who are? Who are planes flown by? In found Wales Pacific are oceans there. Rearrange these words. Whales are found in the Pacific Ocean. Yes, whales are found in the Pacific Ocean. Pacific Ocean. Yes. By was the gang robbed bank there. So the bank was robbed. The bank was robbed by the gang. By the gang. Yes, the bank was robbed. Designer is famous actress the by a dressed. The actress is dressed. The actress is dressed by a famous designer. Hooray! Good. Now let's move to the next exercise. Number 3. You are going to decide are these sentences active or passive. مطلوب منك تحدد الجمل دي active ولا passive. جمل سهله، طريقه سهله. اقرا الجمله وشوف الجمله دي اي تصنيف active ولا passive. You've got here 6 sentences and 2 groups, passive or active. Okay, the teacher gives the lesson. The teacher gives the lesson is active. I write an email every week, active. Some water is put in the dish, passive. The lesson is given by the teacher, passive. An email is written every week, passive. We put some water in the dish, active. Send answers. Yes, good. Hooray. Now it's a very easy one. Let's do the last one. مطلوب منك هنا حول الجمله دي اللي موجوده قدامك على الصوره، حولها من اكتف لباسيف. عندك اختيارات هنا. They are building a new hospital in our area. Are building this active in the present continuous. Are building. We begin with a new hospital. A new hospital is not are. A new hospital is being. لازم نقول being هنا. A new hospital is being. We don't say was because this is not past. This present continuous is. The students are writing the lesson at the moment. We begin with the lesson. Are writing this present continuous. The lesson is. We don't say the lesson are. The lesson is being. The lesson is being written. We don't say the lesson was being. The lesson is written. No, the lesson is being written. This one. The doctor was examining the patients in the hospital. The patients here, the object was examining this past continuous, was or were plus ing. So we begin with the patients were. The patients were. We don't say the patients are because this was in the past continuous. The patients were being examined. Fatma was washing the dishes when her son went out. Fatma was washing the dishes. The dishes here, the object was washing past continuous, was or were plus ing. We begin with the dishes were. Yes, the dishes were washed or were being washed. Which one? Yes, one. Yes, this one. My mother should clean the house today. Begin with the house. Should in the passive should be. The house should be. Should be clean or should be cleaned. Cleaned past participle. Yes. Nora couldn't do the math homework. We begin with the math. The math couldn't here. This modal verb in the negative couldn't be. And then we use the past participle for do, did, done. The math homework could be done, no, or couldn't be done. We want the negative, couldn't be done. Yes, that's the end for our lesson. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Don't forget to do your homework answering the workbook exercises on page number 84, 85. Until we meet again, thank you and goodbye.